Klay Thompson officially has a roster. The Miami Heat are coming together to really round out the rest of this roster, and I'm very interested to see how all of this plays out, especially when you are lacking of shooting and then you grab one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. And I'm not going to say all this to be like, okay, this acquisition is really what's going to take them over the edge and really trample over every single team out east, because again, this championship is definitely going to come from the Eastern Conference, but it's more so, will this give him a chance to slowly integrate himself back into the league and actually playing that real winning basketball that he is so used to? Because I know that they're okay. Let me not act so brave and brave. I will say this: I don't know if their plan is to try and create as much 3-point shooting potential from just a Klay Thompson type of player, but I will say this: when it comes to Pat Riley, he is very good at trying to get the most out of a little, especially when he looks at Eric Spoelstra. It's going to be very difficult to be able to play off of these big men of Giannis as well as Bam Adebayo, especially when it comes to the pick and roll action. I don't know how they're going to be setting up a lot of their ball handling responsibilities, but I will say this: it might just turn into these nice 80s, early 2000s basketball where it's impossible to really get the ball moving and actually try and penetrate the paint. You are going to be taking terrible shots this whole game. Especially, I'm wondering, is this going to be a thing where all 5 players on the court is going to be able to honestly just play a game of zipper and know that they're going to have a great backline defense? Because I'm not going to tell you that Klay Thompson's going to come out here and really play some real hard-nosed defense, but the fact that he gets to be the 5th best defensive player on a starting roster, if he even is going to end up starting on this roster, because of Caldwell Pope will definitely have something to say about that. I personally will start KCP, and not even just start KCP. I will literally, I'm not going to say I'm going to use Klay Thompson as a practice player to really get the most out of this team, but I will say this: I don't want to see him playing over 30 minutes per game, because I feel like that's going to be using him way too much and relying on some knees that are very much done. But I will say this: with the extra money that they're going to be able to use to try and get themselves another veteran, I don't even know who's left, honestly, because of Kuminga just got picked up. I don't know how much Kuminga got picked up, and they put money down on, who's that other wing that just, Peyton Watson, because this offseason has been a very, very scary offseason for the vast majority of players, especially if you were not a top flight type of NBA player that everybody was just hammering to get their hands on, especially with this new apron. But more so, the amount of people that got picked up this year, it feels as if they were either going for that supermax or I got like $5 to maybe $10 million for you, because I was looking at everybody just clamoring from that pay cut. That's why I'm glad Peyton Watson was like, you know what? I am just going to do my best to get off of this market, because if you are staying on the market till the season actually starts, it really gets very tricky for you, especially if you don't have a certified position inside this NBA. But I will say, this East is so insane. It's getting so crazy to me, because of not only does this Heat team have these 2 juggernauts on the defensive end, but alongside that, it seems as if the role players that they've surrounded Giannis with are players that are very okay with the role that they're going to be put in, and there's not going to be anybody fighting or bucking to try and get as many points as possible, because that's what I was thinking. They're going to have at least Norman Powell to be like the head curator from the guard position. But if it seems like Is Davion Mitchell the type of bucket that like you could really get a lot out of? I don't know. Is it going to be a thing where he gets a chance to actually grow in this point guard role? I mean, maybe. I could definitely see him doing something, but it seems like he will walk the path of the Pat Bevs that came before him, where you know you are just going to sit down and hustle. And honestly, that's not a bad role. I feel like if you're able to find yourself where you just get a chance to play and just focus on the defensive end, that's all you guys got to work on. Alongside that, this offseason, the amount of basketball clips that I've been seeing has been insane. And I was thinking, where would these Eastern Conference teams rank out power rankings wise? And so far, it feels as if we would go Sixers, Knicks, Raptors. Are we taking Raptors? We're all taking Raptors. Sixers, Knicks, Raptors. I'll go Heat. I'll put Heat after Raptors. And people try and fight me on that. But my main thing, especially this Raptors team, I am so high on them, especially with the recent acquisition of Kawhi Leonard. I feel like that team is gonna be so deadly, especially on that defensive end, because I don't even plan on Kawhi Leonard playing that many minutes, and it might just be a thing where I saw them dominate throughout this whole postseason last year that I'm thinking to myself, Brandon Ingram he wasn't even playing like that. Your superstar that you were paying max money to wasn't even like doing much, and you were able to upgrade from him to a bona fide top 20 NBA player all time. That's the low end. That's just because he doesn't like to work like all of us. And being able to add that type of guy alongside a team of players that genuinely are just glorified role players. I was remembering back when they won the champ, when they're able to pick up that championship real quick, and then Kawhi was like, you know what? I'm a one and done bandit. I don't even like it here. I'm just here to make as much money as possible, and all y'all can leave me alone. I don't even like this game. And he gonna pull up that whole roster was a bunch of high-end role players that were able to not just excel at their role, they have never in their life thought about trying to become the man on a team. That's just, they never thought about nothing like that. And being able to continuously get that type of vibe, and even when you cycle through as many players as this Raptors team has, because they used to have Pascal, they used to have OG, they used to have Fred VanVleet, they used to have all these different players that are just like, I mean, I'm here one day and I'm gone the next, because of I'm going to be so valuable that another team is going to be like, oh yeah, I need that. And the fact that they're able to still inbred that idea into their work, they're going to be crazy come next year. And Scotty Barnes is only getting better. I've been saying that Scotty Barnes has been like a top 3 to 5 defensive player in the league for like, honestly, once the season ended last year, I was like, okay, I'm not saying that he's better than Bam, but I am saying I get chills watching him play that defensive side of the ball. I'm not gonna lie to you. But moving on. After that, after Sixers, Knicks, Raptors, Miami Heat, those are the 4. 5, I'm gonna throw it to Detroit. I'm gonna say Detroit. They're able to mend the ship and actually keep going. I'm really high on Asar Thompson coming back with some semblance of offensive know-how. And then I'm gonna slide the Magic, and then Pacers, and we're at 7. Magic, Pacers, and then there's a team that I'm forgetting. Boston. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put Boston after that because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm really low on this Celtics team, but I could see them mending the ship and just being able to go a full head forward. I just don't know if Tatum's going to be able to hold that much weight when it comes to the offensive side of the ball and still having to produce as much defense as he does, because Tatum is also a very good defensive player, but losing out on a 26 point per game scorer as well as like a bunch of steady hands of ball type of guys on that team usually, I don't know how they're gonna play it. But hey, we'll see what Drew Holiday does, because I feel like they're gonna buy out his contract. He's gonna go out east as well, but I digress. Or yeah, I'll say come to Minnesota. I'm not too bad at that. I'm still okay with you coming to Minnesota.